A federal high court in Abuja has issued a garnishee order freezing a total of 24 bank accounts belonging to the Kano state government. The order was granted in response to a suit filed by the Incorporated Trustees of the Masalachi Eid Shop Owners and Traders Association. The association sought compensation for the demolition of their shops, which they deemed illegal and unjust. Justice Iyang Ekwo, presiding over the case, delivered the ruling on the 28th of November 2023, affirming the attachment of funds totaling 30 billion naira. According to the certified true copy of the ruling signed by the registrar, Chioma Chijioke, the action is aimed at satisfying the judgment in favor of the shop owners following the alleged illegal demolition carried out by the state in June of 2023. Moreover, the court has maintained and mandated the garnishees to appear before it and provide cause, if any, against the order that is being made absolute. The judge has stipulated that the judgment's creditors should serve the defendant and garnishees at least 14 days prior to the next hearing, scheduled for the 18th of January 2024. And Vice President Kashim Shettima has arrived Kaduna State to commiserate with victims and families of last Sunday's military airstrike at Tundunbiri village in Igabi local government area of the state. He was welcomed on arrival at the Nigerian Air Force Base, Mando, by Governor Ubasani and top officials of the Kaduna State government. Shettima was earlier meant to visit the affected communities on Wednesday, but decided to move his visit to Thursday. Thursday's condolence visit comes 4 days after the deadly airstrike that killed over 85 persons and injured several others in northwestern state. The United States on Thursday said it is ready to help the Nigerian military in the areas of reducing the incidence of accidental bombings in the barest minimum in the country to allowed it to intervene. The U.S. said it would help in the area of deployment of artificial intelligence to improve the military's capabilities, saying the measure would afford the Nigerian military avoid running afoul of international humanitarian law. The United States Bureau of Arms Control, Deterrence and Stability stated this in Abuja while fielding questions from selected journalists at a roundtable media chat. And speaking during the chat, the center's principal Deputy Assistant Secretary Paul Dean said his organization is willing to partner with the federal government to curb the proliferation of arms and ammunition in the country. The U.S. official maintained that adoption of technology would help operations predictable, transparent, and stable and responsible, which he said would reduce the risk of an irresponsible approach. And 3 operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have been injured, with one left in critical condition after sustaining a gunshot injury to the head. The incident happened in the early hours of Monday, 4th of December, during an operation at the Opuje Forest in Edo State. The affected officers were rushed to the hospital for treatment, while critically injured personnel had a major surgery on Wednesday. And some of the vehicles used for the operation were riddled with bullets. And following credible intelligence that drug cartels had again stocked their warehouses in the forest to start distribution of psychoactive substances to various parts of the country ahead of the Yuletide season, teams of the NDLEA officers were mobilized to enter the Edo forest and block the distribution of the illicit drug by destroying their warehouses. And the Director Media and Advocacy of the NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, on Thursday stated that some of the warehouses containing about 6,000 kgs of cannabis were first taken down in a forest in a Sun-West local government area last week. The NDLEA teams, however, came under gunfire attack in the early hours of Monday, the 4th of December, when they approached the Opuje forest after the armed hoodlums had blocked all access roads in the community. And moving on now, the Zamfara state government says it has recovered about 50 operational vehicles allegedly taken away by the immediate past governor of the state, Bello Matawale, briefing journalists on Thursday in Gusau. A spokesperson for Governor Dauda Lawal, Sani Sambo, said the action followed the judgment by the Federal High Court in Sokoto last Friday. He said due processes were being followed carefully following the recovery of the vehicles from Gusau and Maradun residences of the former governor, who earlier denied having possession of any government property when he was leaving office as governor. And when Lawal took over power as governor of Zamfara on the 29th of May 2023, controversy over stolen operational vehicles at the government house in Gusau, as well as siphoning of public funds, set in. Security agencies later raided the two residences of Matawale in Gusau and Maradun local government areas, where some vehicles were recovered. The former governor quickly secured a court order restraining the state government from such action, pending the determination of the court's decision on the matter. According to the state government, the court in Sokoto dismissed the former governor's suit against it. And tensions are simmering in Ilobu, town of Osun State, as farmers decried the impact of hoodlums who attack their farms, destroying their means of livelihood. The farmers say the development, if left unchecked, by the authorities, will undermine the agricultural productivity of the area. Hamid Oyebade filed in this report.
Farming is one of the major occupations of the people of Ilobu in Irekpodun local government area of Osun State. The recent communal clashes between the people of Ilobu and Ifon towns over land dispute disrupted the peace in the area. The farmers left their farms to avoid being killed. However, while peace has returned to the main towns, attacks persist in the villages and farm settlements. Despite the signing of the peace accord between Ilobu and Ifon towns, the people of Ifon are not allowing us to go to our farms, as they keep attacking us with guns and machetes in our farms. They have destroyed our tools and other properties in our farms. They have also stolen our kola nut, yam, cassava, and maize. They prevented us from entering our farms, and they have stolen our yam and destroyed our kola nut. They set our property ablaze, and they made some of us to become beggars. Speaking on behalf of the Ilobu Ashake Development Union, Tahiru Babatunde called on the state government and security agencies to ensure safety of farmers and villagers.
The security, the soldier, the police, and the other paramilitary officers that are at Ojutu Bridge there, they don't have any business there. They should move to Ifon, because there is no crisis there. They should move to the battleground where there is a problem. Along Ilajue Road.
The special advisor to the governor of the state on internal security and local matters, Omoyele Adekunle, assured the people of the area that the state government is committed to ensuring the safety of their lives and properties.
So they could not give a vivid account. But what we do is, there's a motorized patrol now, a joint patrol by the military, by the police and the civil defense. So they go 24 hours along this route.
The State Commissioner of Police in the state, Ishaq Mohammed, also assured farmers and residents of adequate security in Ilobu and Ifon towns, as well as Osun State as a whole. Hamid Oyebade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
And the Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, has debunked stories making the rounds online that a huge amount of money was budgeted for the renovation of his residence in the 2024 appropriations bill. And there has been a backlash, especially on social media, following claims that 10 billion naira was budgeted for the renovation of the Chief of Staff residence, and that 10.1 billion naira was also budgeted for his computer software. In a post on his official X handle, Gbajabiamila, however, said there was no provision in the 2024 appropriations bill for the renovation of his residence, adding that he lives in his private apartment. He said the amount quoted online was for the renovation of the presidential quarters in Idodan Barracks and the Vice President's Lodge in Lagos. The former Speaker of the House of Representatives added that the renovation includes overhauling the information management and communications facilities in the presidency to meet modern standards and to provide vehicles for the staff of the presidency. Gbajabiamila said healthy public debate about government actions requires responsibility and engagement based on facts rather than insinuations. Public debate over the 2024 proposed budget continues as opposition political parties weigh in by calling on the National Assembly to actively review the appropriations bill to reflect the needs of Nigerians. The group of political parties made their position known at a press conference in Abuja while criticizing the financial plan of the Tinubu-led administration for lacking fiscal responsibility. And Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman reports.
The opposition parties are speaking in unison as public debate continues to gain momentum over the 27.5 trillion naira budget for the 2024 fiscal year. While opining on the state of the nation, the coalition expressed displeasure over the current economic climate amidst the living condition crisis faced by millions of Nigerians.
The security situation is not improving. It's getting bad. And for that reason, for him to have a conducive environment where people can invest domestically and internationally, the nation must be secured. Any nation that lacks the capacity to secure its citizens cannot think of attracting investors anywhere.
Those steps do not show strategic move by the government to solve Nigerian problem. It has always been the way we've been having it, and we seem to be going in the same direction, and we believe something must shift. We feel that government should revisit its agenda.
Speaking on budgetary allocations, the opposition decried the spending pattern of the Tinubu administration, questioning the rationale behind spending billions of taxpayers' money to sponsor huge international trips for government officials.
I think it is outrageous and somehow anachronistic, because if you are going to bring in every society that developed today started by looking within for solutions to their problems.
Now, how do you reconcile that with the government in the last supplementary budget that is buying SUVs worth over 2 billion for the wife of the president? Is that even constitutional in the first place?
The opposition group also expressed reservation over the expected positive impact of the fuel subsidy removal by the APC government, which it says has deepened poverty amongst the people rather than help the administration save for the needed development in critical sectors of the economy. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The National Association of Nigerian Students has called on the federal government to increase education budget and include students in the execution of the 2024 education budget proposal. NAN's national president, Comrade Emonefe Lucky, in a statement in Abuja on Thursday, made the appeal while speaking on the ongoing 2024 budget and appropriations process at the Citizens Town Hall meeting in Abuja. Lucky underscored the need for an increase in the budget allocation to education in 2024 budget proposal. According to the NAN's president, the federal government has allocated about 2.18 trillion naira for education in the 2024 budget proposal. This figure represents a 7.9% for education of the total 27.5 trillion naira budget proposal. The NAN's president, who stated that a lot of factors hindered the development of the country's education sector at the moment, stressing the need for urgent intervention to prevent education from losing its standard. He also reiterated that the leadership of the National Assembly should include students in the execution of the education budget so as to monitor its impact in various institutions and on the lives and welfare of Nigerian students. And this is still the Trust News update. Still to come. Stakeholders in Benue call for more dialogue to avert violent clashes. And more news when we return to stay tuned.
A dark trade is thriving here, in the heart of Mararaba, a bustling satellite town that stretches into Nigeria's federal capital territory.
There is one business for town inside Abuja. They do kidney harvesting.
Abbas is one of at least 6 young men from Mararaba that have followed this dangerous path.
One of my friends called me and told me that there is one hospital that they used to sell kidney.
Selling organ is illegal, is unethical. The repercussions are many. One on the donor himself.
Bai kamata ka kama yaro ko shi ne ya gaya maka yana so. Bai kamata ka dauki yaro ba shawaran iyaye. To yanzu da sun mutu za a yi zubar da gawawakin su kenan.
I don't want me to bury my son. I want them to bury me. But as this thing happened, they're looking like just like ordinary picture.
The investigation is yet to be concluded.
The motive for the donation was money. And when they get the money, and the money will not be able to solve their problems, they ended up with regret. Most of them developed psychological issues. Some of them even got into depression.
Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV. Here is a recap of the major stories. Court freezes 24 Kano government account over 30 billion naira compensation dispute. And NDLEA offers officer hospitalized after gun battle with drug traffickers. And moving on, residents of Taraba State are decrying the scarcity of naira notes in circulation. The situation has led to a steep rise in withdrawal charges from point-of-sale operators, making everyday transactions difficult for residents who want to use cash. The report.
There's a growing concern over the inability of Nigerians to access adequate cash for their everyday transactions, despite the Central Bank of Nigeria's reassurance of sufficient cash in circulation. The current situation, which is reminiscent of last year's cash crisis during the Naira redesign policy by the Apex Bank, is unsettling residents in Taraba who are concerned about the impact on their livelihood. Banks now ratio withdrawals as ATMs run dry, with POS operators hiking the charges for transactions with customers.
Directly shortage of money is a great problem to this country. Even the masses are suffering. Now it is a time for people to jubilate their Christmas. In fact, if there is no money, in fact, they can't enjoy it because some people are illiterate. They don't know how to transfer money. Even talking about the digital issues, they are in a country that many people are not learning it. Nigeria is a country that is dominated by some illiteracy, of which due to the situation, condition, and the humiliation of our some leaders, of which they didn't create room for the masses to enjoy in this country. So for that, if the money is not in circulation, where will they going to get the money?
Not favorable at all. And I don't even know what Nigeria is becoming. You with your money, you can't access it. Even when I get to the bank to think of to go and withdraw money, that giving me a limited amount, I'm going to withdraw. I don't know where we're heading to.
Meanwhile, POS operators, who have become the lifeline for residents, say they are forced to charge higher fee due to the difficulties they face in accessing cash from banks.
Normally, before they used to give us 20,000 naira per withdrawal, and they came and reduced the money to 10,000 naira per. They came and reduced it to 10,000 naira, and we came these days again. They reduced it to 5,000 naira, and every withdrawal they used to charge us. So once they charge us, we used to come out with little money. So if you come, presently we don't give out 5,000 naira. We don't give out 5,000 naira to our customers. But if you ask customer to pay 150 naira per 5,000 naira, at the end of the day, you end up being with your money.
The current scarcity continues to disrupt economic activities as the CBN works to address the shortage in cash supply within the system. It remains to be seen how soon a solution will come.
And violent conflict have become part of the endemic challenges mitigating against the growth and development of peace between ethnic groups in Benue State over the years. Following years of concerted efforts at restoring normalcy, law and order, effective dialogue has been championed as the panacea to recurring clashes in the state. Jimmy Adzande reports.
The elder who identified factors that often compromise peace efforts in communities noted that until warring parties embrace dialogue and other initiatives that foster communal living, physical confrontations with their consequences will always be the order of the day.
At times, disagreement arising from other things, family issues, women affairs, and other community problems. There are, of course, political issues that reach peace. Disagreement arising from political differences. The consequences are closer. Indeed, burning our houses is one of them. Loss of property, loss of lives is another, and a lot more.
Experts on conflict resolution say there is need for civil society organizations and the media to do more in the areas of advocacy and peace reporting by identifying and reporting early warning signs to avert violent conflicts.
So that the issue of promoting peace is not only something that will be left to government, it is something that is concern all of us. Now this is something that is beyond the security agencies. It's something that is beyond civil society. Everybody in the society has a responsibility to ensure that there is peace, even from the family front. And then when we go outside of the family, everywhere in our workplaces, in the marketplaces, it's all our responsibility to ensure that is peace. And since peace is a kind of a general thing, when there is peace, not only one person that is going to enjoy the peace. When there is conflict, it's not only one person or a particular set of people that will be affected. And that is why it's the multi-sectoral issue.
Each and every journalist comes from a particular village. So when I see something which is capable of igniting violence, I am reaching down to let that person or those people who are ignorant of it to be that, hey, this thing you are about to do, if you allow it to be the way you think it should be, rest assured that it's going to ignite a lot of violence. And so as a journalist, it's a duty to always embark on development of journalism. And I think that's so doing a lot of peace will achieve.
Aside the farmer herders conflict, there have been reports of criminal crisis in the state in the recent past, bordering on land disputes and water ponds. While the Aliyah government is working towards ensuring a peaceful Benue, experts have submitted that building peace is everyone's business. Jimmy Azande, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
And away from Nigeria, Seychelles President Wavel Ramkalawan on Thursday declared a state of emergency, ordering all citizens except essential workers to stay at home due to heavy rainfall. The presidency in a statement said the declaration followed an explosion at the CCCL explosive store that had caused massive damage as well as major destruction caused by flooding due to heavy rains. According to the statement, all schools will be closed, while only workers in the essential services and persons traveling will be allowed free movement to enable emergency services carry out essential work. The explosion occurred in the Providence industrial area of Ma, the largest island in the island and the Indian Ocean, and caused huge damage there and to surrounding areas. He added that the Seychelles International Airport will remain operational, while ferry services between islands will also operate for visitors. A former British colony, the Seychelles is made up of 115 islands, and according to the 2021 World Bank data, is the richest African country as measured by per capita gross domestic product, with tourism and fishing the biggest contributors to the economy. And the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has written to the UN Security Council warning public order is set to break down in Gaza completely and there is no means in getting aid over the border into the enclave. He also warned that the war on Gaza Strip was an existing threat to international peace and security. The move is coming on the heels of the death toll in the occupied territories of Palestine, reported as topping 16,248 people, including 7,112 children and 4,885 women in Gaza since 7th of October. He also said that the people and the women in Gaza since then have been displaced as civilians flee and Israeli forces encircle southern Gaza City. The letter represents the first time Guterres has invoked the article since he took over the role of UN Secretary General on the 1st of January 2017. And this move is widely considered to be the most powerful diplomatic tool at his disposal. In the letter, Guterres called for the Security Council to press to avert a humanitarian catastrophe and appeal for a humanitarian ceasefire to be declared in Gaza. And now to sports news. Nigeria forward Victor Osimhen has made the final three-man shortlist for the 2023 CAF Men's Player of the Year. CAF announced the final shortlist on its official X handle on Thursday. Also up for the prestigious award are Morocco and Paris Saint-Germain defender Hakimi and Egypt and Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah. And last year's winner Sadio Mane failed to make the final shortlist. Osimhen is the firm favorite to succeed the Senegalese, and the 24-year-old led Napoli to their first Serie A title in 33 years last year, scoring 26 goals. The striker is looking to become the first Nigerian to win the award since Kanu Nwankwo was named the best player on the continent in 1999. The winner will be revealed at the CAF Award Gala on the 11th of December 2023 at Palais de Congrès, Movenpick, Marrakesh, Morocco. And with that, we've come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us on all our social media handles for more news, documentaries, and programs. My name is Chiamaka Nnendu. Thank you for watching.